Well, hey kids, Rio here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday. So today, of course, is the next in my series of film reviews. Today we'll be doing another episode of Look What I Found! And this one's kind of cool, and hopefully I'm not going to get zapped, by YouTube. Because today we're going to be talking about, and I will add in here in all seriousness, that I will be putting information in the description of this video. It concerns to helplines and places you can call if you find yourself actually considering such a thing. If you found this video because you were looking for a tutorial, please go down to the description and call one of the numbers there. Okay, because it's not the way to do things. Doesn't solve a thing.
There are a lot of different schools of thought on killing yourself, beyond just pro and con, I mean.
Okay, so first of all, the title is what drew me to this. Okay, just for one. Secondly, it's not quite about what you think. This is a very, very dark comedy. And it is a comedy of errors, no less. This is a really interesting, film. There was a lot of really interesting things that they did here. So let's just start with what we're looking at. So our story, is following a character called Garrett. Garrett, has lost, his girlfriend. They broke up. She dropped him like a hot rock. It's kind of the impression that you get. And she's currently seeing somebody else. It's been a while. This wasn't like a new development. This guy's just been stewing on it for a really long time. So his great idea is that he is going to, well, unalive, the ex-girlfriend, and, leave a note and clues to make it look like she unalived herself. And then I'm assuming he probably plans to unalive his own self afterwards. His ultimate, plan is a little murky, okay? But, that's my general understanding right there.
Do you understand what's happening right now?
I understand some of what's happening right now.
Now, the problem, of course, is the best laid plans of mice and men, right? This whole thing goes most heinously, wrong, for our boy Garrett, which A, is for the best. But, it just gets wildly, out of control, and he essentially finds himself with like a whole house full of hostages, because now he has to unalive even more people in order for this whole thing to work out. And yeah, again, it's a dark comedy, okay? But it, oh my goodness, it is so funny though. Like, it almost shouldn't be, but it is.
30% of Americans do commit suicide every single day.
Okay, so the writer, on this film is, Ethan Hunter. He has a lot of, like, short films and stuff that were listed. A lot of stuff I don't know that I'd heard of him, but he has a lot of various shorts, mostly shorts, that I saw listed. And he's done a lot of work. A lot of his previous shorts were done with the director of this film. The director for this film is Greg Thiemann. And he's also done a lot of work on television and stuff as well. But these two guys, the writer and the director, have worked together on a lot of other short projects and stuff. So they obviously have a very good working relationship and a history with each other. So that's our writer, that's our director. Our cinematographer, our director of photography, is Eli Wallace. He's got a lot of listings, but notably, he was DP on Swamp Thing 2019. So, you know, that's pretty solid for me. I kind of liked that version, to be honest. Special effects. We do have special effects in this film, as you could probably guess. I found two people listed, for special effects for this. We have Chris Dulles, who was a special effects supervisor on, a World War II drama called The Last Rescue, among other things. And we also have, Tony Rosen, who worked on a short, called Thirst of the Dead, which I've actually seen. And finally, Damian Fisher, who was actually uncredited, but did work on, X-Men Days of Future Past, Iron Man, and Snow White and the Huntsman. Okay, so it's a pretty quality effects work there. Now, the cast on this thing is kind of interesting. I was actually kind of excited by some of these. So our main character, Garrett, of course, is being played by Will Daniels. Now, when I looked up his IMDb, I found a whole lot of work, again, a lot of shorts and stuff that he worked on, but interestingly enough, according to IMDb, between 2005 and 2010, he was actually working under the name Wilton Godfrey. Now, I don't know, maybe he's SAG, and a lot of the times, you know, if you've got similar names, you've got to change them out. So perhaps he joined SAG and had to start working under a different name. I don't know. But that's Garrett. That's our main guy. And he's really good in this. It's, I don't know, like Dexter meets Animaniacs. It's like, I don't know, but the guy is really good in this. He's both kind of sympathetic, but also unlikable a little bit. And just the fact that this whole thing gets so farcical and it all gets so far away from him, you're kind of like, bruh. Like, you just gotta feel sorry for him after a while. And then, of course, we have the ex-girlfriend, which is Mia. This was an exciting one for me, because you would know Mia. Her name is Sarah Tomko. She played Asta in Resident Alien, which is a great show. If you've never seen it, look up Resident Alien. You'll love it. Come on, Alan Tudyk. You can't go wrong. We have a pizza delivery guy who ends up roping in his girlfriend to try and help this man who he believes is preparing to unalive himself, not quite realizing what dude's actually up to.
There is a noose around his neck.
But so our pizza guy is called Rick, and he's being paid by Nate Panning. You've seen him in a lot of things. He was in Stranger Things. He was in Iron Man 3. He's done a lot of like video game voices. He did voices for Battlefield 4. And related to that, he was actually in an animated TV series called Battlefield, which was basically just a cartoon about people playing Battlefield 4. Okay, he's an outstanding comic actor in this. All these characters really are just brilliant. The comedy is solid. And then we have his girlfriend, which is Abigail. And Rick's girlfriend, Abigail, is being played by Julia Lehman. And you would have seen her in Constantine, New Adventures of Old Christine. I never watched that show, but I am familiar with it, of course, and Modern Family. So you've seen her in a lot of things as well. So this is the pizza guy and his girlfriend that end up getting stuck in the middle of this whole farce. And then there's a little boy that ends up kind of in the middle of this whole thing too. Again, all these people that just kind of end up, right? This whole thing just really spirals. So you have a little boy called Timmy, who's being played by Simon Christ. He has a few listings, but notably, he's the voice of Kenny in the American dub of Gamera the Brave. So, yeah. If you've ever watched, come on, kaiju movies, I could do a whole series just on those, honestly. But that's the one thing I noted for him, that he was the American voice of the little boy in Gamera the Brave. And of course, then, we have the girlfriend's landlord, who also ends up in the middle of this farce. And the girlfriend's landlord is a character named Barry, and Sid Haig, you guys.
You cannot remove my sticky brains from your hairs and the flies that go home in your head and lay eggs in your mono and eat your bones on the inside.
To note, this is actually the last live-action film that Sid Haig ever made before he passed away. He passed away 2019, but this was the last film he made in a live-action. And it's always worth it for Sid Haig. Now, he did do another film that came out after this. It was an animated film that he had done a voice for. And I think we're going to talk about that film in a later ep. But this was his last live-action film. It was his last time on camera. So Sid Haig, so you can never go wrong. Also, there's a cameo by Corey Feldman. Apropos of nothing, there's a cameo by Corey Feldman as one of the other people that finds themselves in the middle of this thing. This whole neighborhood ends up in the middle of this guy's big plans, and oh gosh. So that's where the fun of this one comes in, right? Is the comedy is not about unaliving. The comedy is about this guy who is convinced he's going to essentially unalive his ex-girlfriend, and then right. But it just goes wrong and wrong and wrong. And it's a farce. It's a straight farce of just how bad this thing spirals out of control. Now, he does manage to pull off some of what he's trying to pull off. He does actually take out the ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. You get him briefly in the movie, a character called Ben. He's not a primary character. It's more of an encounter, like D&D. But our boy Ben is actually played by Christian Razakis. And you would actually know him. He played Jongleur in the series Gotham. I mean, I will put it out there that this is a dark film, okay? Dark comedies I'm particularly a fan of a dark comedy. So, I mean, I don't think this goes too far in making something that really shouldn't be funny. But I don't know. If you have a certain sensitivities, this one might be hard. Only because of a lot of the references that it does make. But come on, guys. If you think you're up to it, you should really give this one a try. I actually found it on Prime Video. It's a newer film. As I said. But if you get a chance to find it, I think you should check it out. Give it a chance. Don't let the title turn you off. Okay, kids, I guess that's it for me on this one. There's a like and subscribe button down here someplace. You could hit that, and you'll get notifications of my new stuff when it goes up. I do my film reviews every Wednesday, but I do other things here too. I've actually got a number of projects I'm going to be uploading. They're going to be unrelated to film reviews. So if you want to see whatever stupid thing I've decided to do one day, just hit those buttons and you'll get notified when I do it. All right, kids, I will see you guys next time, and we'll have some other cool stuff to talk about. Bye.